Welcome, horror fam, to another episode of HHN 365. I'm Jess, and as always, I'm here with my co-host Jonathan. What's up?
Hello! I am super excited to be talking about what we're about to be talking about today. This episode is going to be really, really fun and
Mm,
intense.
it's gonna be like the Hannah Montana of episodes, the best of both worlds. A little bit of good, a little bit of not so good. But you might notice it's just us, Jonathan. They left us alone.
They did. They shouldn't have done that. They
I
shouldn't
don't
have
know
done
why
that.
the fuck they did that, but they trusted us. Duff and Mike are in Vegas right now, doing some fun things. Um, but we'll talk about that in a little bit, I guess. So if you want to follow us on social media, you can do that at HHN365 on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. If you want to follow our TikTok, which has been a little bit more active, that's at HHN365 Pod. We do have a Discord. The link is linked in our social media bios, our link tree, and it's in this episode description if you want to go join the horror fam over there. Our merch is hhn365.com if you want to go pick up any of our shirts. And if you want to be a part of the show and leave a voicemail, our number is 407-906-4134. And on today's show, we'll be talking about IPs that we want to see return to HHN in a new way, whether we've seen them or not. And also, we're going to talk about the opening day experience we had at Mardi Gras yesterday.
Oh
Yep.
boy.
Well,
What a good
yeah.
list of topics we have today.
Oh, I think that we should sandwich like the good, the that, and then the good, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay, yeah. So let's do news and rumors. Jonathan, what do we got?
News and rumors. Okay, actually, the first one here, I think you
Oh,
you would be good for the you know a lot more about this topic than I do.
oh, I I didn't see that, or else I would have just started. Sorry. They left us alone. We're driving the ship, and we're the new ones here. Well, I mean, I don't know if I can say I'm new, but they left the newest ones here. So, um, be kind. So Universal, if you, I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't seen anybody talk about this on Twitter yet. I don't know if you have, Jonathan, but this is important to me, and I think it's important to a lot of theme park people. Universal has had, quote unquote spirit jerseys for the last couple years. I think the first time we saw it in HHN one was 30, maybe. I I don't think 29, but definitely 30, like during the event, during not during light. But they were never like the Spirit Jersey brand. As of Mardi Gras, they now are using Spirit Jersey brand, like the thick, like cotton fabric. It's the puffier, like paint, everything. It is so good, and the price I don't think changed. I still think they're 79 or like maybe 84. They're still cheaper than Disney's, which I think are around 100 now. But same brand, Spirit Jersey, and I know the Marvel ones are also starting to become Spirit Jersey brands as well in the parks slowly. So
That's very cool. I
good
wish I had more to
quality.
talk about regarding this topic, but I really
I know.
don't.
I know. A lot of hate. Spirit jerseys have no gender. I see everybody rock them, but I know for a lot of people, we live in Florida, it doesn't get cold all the time. But I collected them, when in the height of the Disney Spirit Jersey movement, whatever fucking year that was. But I've gotten all the HHN ones, but the thing is they're a lot thinner, or the old ones that they used to have, and they don't last as long because they're thin. So they don't hold up in the wash. Spirit jerseys are thick, and like you're paying more, I feel like, for quality sometimes with a name brand like that. So I'd rather have the thicker one that's going to last me a while, because I have Disney ones from like 2016 that are still fantastic because they're Spirit Jersey brand. The Universal ones have not been that great, but now we get quality.
All right, that is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they'll continue using these for future Halloween Horror Nights events.
Oh, I will be reporting in August whenever that merch comes out. You know I'll be there talking about the Spirit Jersey quality. All right, what do you got, Jonathan?
All right, so our next piece of news and rumors, but mostly rumors, is something from Legacy, one of the in HHN insiders that we talk about a lot on this show. He responded to a Twitter post that said, and I'm going to read the Twitter post or else this whole segment doesn't really make any sense. The Twitter post said, "Last night I dreamt that Universal revealed the full HHN 32 lineup and surprised us all by opening in January. The lineup was all repeat houses, including Chucky, obviously, and Killer Clowns. Sadly, not reality." And he quote tweeted this specific tweet and said, "Not reality, you say?" And this has caused a lot of people to have a lot of different ideas of what this exactly could mean. Because right now we don't have any rumors. The last big rumor we had was Megan. So now we are going to cling to anything. And this is what we're clinging to right now, this response to this tweet. And so let's talk about it. What exactly could this mean? And my first idea is that by responding specifically to the tweet that had a comment saying that the lineup was all repeat houses, which kind of inspired the topic, one of the topics for this episode. My idea is that maybe he's referring to that this year is going to have mostly repeat IPs, things like that have been rumored before, such as Saw, Insidious, Exorcist, things that we've had before. Obviously, not repeat houses, but repeating properties, and maybe that's what all of our IPs this year are made up of.
I like that. I mean, it could be interesting. We're gonna get it more into that later, like
We
you said.
are, we are. So
Um,
that's one idea, obviously. And the next one is something that I want to be true. Well, I kind of want to be true. I don't want to be true at the same time. So it's, it depends. But this next one is that, the Twitter poster said Killer Clowns by name. So what if Legacy is referring to a Killer Clowns sequel? Or a reimagining of the Killer Clown's house in in 29. So there are a lot of different ways to take this, either the whole lineup being repeat IPs or Killer Clown specifically, or both things tied up together.
mm.
So Jess, like what do you think? Uh, what do you think he might be referring to? And if if this is true, all repeat IPs and maybe even a Killer Clown sequel, like how would you feel? I know you already said that all repeat IPs could be cool, but like, what repeat IPs do you want? We're gonna That's our episode topic. Oh no, I can't say that.
No, no, you're
But
good. I get what you're saying.
okay, let's talk about this.
You're good. So for me, I mean, they've done this before with originals. They've done. Don't ask me what year it was. I cannot pull that out of my ass right now. But they have done a year where all of the original houses were sequels. So
Hmm.
that's how we got. Again, don't ask me. I couldn't tell you right now, but I know we've had that before, and I think that was pretty well received. I know some more than others, but I think that this could open up even farther than maybe all repeat IPs. I think we could do a full sequel lineup, and I think that that could be really
Mm.
cool with someone like Chucky at the reins, honestly, because he's had sequels and he's had not so good sequels and he's had good sequels. So I think that I don't think it's going to happen this year. I'm just saying that maybe we'll have a couple, but I would love to see a full 10 house lineup where it's not repeat houses, but it's repeat adaptations of things we've seen.
I love that idea. And as you were talking about that, like my head was creating ideas in my head.
Hmm.
And what if we have an icon, which I'm honestly not sure one way or the other, what if the icon was Usher and like you were saying, like the whole theme of the year was sequels, and you
Hmm.
can sort of tie those two things together, movies, and Usher's just presenting a bunch of sequels to us in different ways in the marketing.
Oh, that'd be so good. And then you could do, I mean, everyone talks about it all the time, bump it up. You put the director there, so you have the director's the one directing, and then the usher's the one, showing you the films. So
Oh
we could
God.
just make a whole fan service here that's all sequels and icons and at the Palace Theater. I don't know. I don't
It
I don't
would
think we're gonna see it, but
Probably not, but I would be up for it. I mean, if we're gonna have a year of sequels, that would finally probably be the year. Probably be if the theme was sequels, that would probably be the year that we get Slaughter Cinema 2. So I will
Oh
take
yeah.
anything in the year to get Slaughter Cinema 2.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine the marketing if everything was sequels, like hosted by the director, the usher, or both, like just filmed in Universal, kind of like how we had with the little snippets from this past year of the icon, like not the icon, but the final girl and whatever all of those tropes were. It'd be so fucking cool.
It would be
Uh,
incredible. And one more thing I wanted to talk about in this section was specifically Killer Clowns. So you saw Killer Clowns in Hollywood the last year, and I know you
mhm.
liked the 29 house,
Yeah.
but I know you did not like Hollywood's Clowns house. So how would you feel? Like, how do you feel about Orlando possibly getting a sequel to Clowns? Is has it already like has Hollywood sort of ruined the clowns for you at this point, or are you would you still be optimistic for another take on the property as long as Orlando is doing it?
No, I. My issue was with Hollywood's. It there were just some weird spots, and not I won't even say black hallways because that house was neon. It just like wasn't my favorite, and I thought that we did it better. But I would love if we were gonna bring it back. I would love to see like the Halloween approach or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre approach from 30. Like,
That's the better way of saying that.
yeah, like do the house, but do it in a soundstage now and do it on a
but
bigger scale.
do it actually like a almost completely different house instead of
Hmm.
Halloween in 31, which was a different house, but like not
Yeah.
as much as Texas.
No, but again, to me, like everyone said that the house was very different for Halloween, but it was a lot of the same scenes. Just for, like in Texas, you're looking at everything from a different doorway. Wasn't that what they said on Unmasking for
It
30?
it was, and to be honest, like I mean that's that's a fair point. That it's like, oh, it's the same thing. You're just going through different doors. But I really did love the idea of making it its own original thing and not just saying we're doing the first movie again compared to
Hmm.
Halloween, which is like we're just doing the first movie. We're not doing anything else. It's just the first movie. Like at least Texas would like we're gonna take things from two, because why not?
Yeah.
And we're gonna create original scenes.
I could see them again if they brought clowns back and did it in a soundstage. I I have not looked into the game at all, but I could see them maybe taking aspects of the game and making like a hybrid house like Texas then, or just doing it in a soundstage and doing the scale and we walk into the tent. It's not that we only
Mm.
see like a panel of it. We actually walk into the spaceship and we go to these places and we see like a massive room inside with the cotton candy cocoons instead of just like a little scene.
Even
That could
getting
be a cool
more
approach.
scenes. Yeah, and
Mhm,
even getting more scenes outside of the ship because the ship was primarily the focus in Orlando's house.
mhm.
Like getting more scenes outside in Crescent Cove and seeing
Yeah.
more clown gags, and I mean, have one of the scenes of like where they're in the street and they're sucking up people in their in their machine with all their confetti going around. There's a lot of things you can do with clowns, and I love that you brought up the game because the game is coming out next year or this year.
Mm,
So it would be good synergy. And I have looked at some models and things they've been releasing for the game, and there are some things there that are in the same vein of the movie, but are not in the movie. And makes it like even more makes me even more excited for the potential of the clowns because they can just take a lot of original concepts from the game and throw it in the house, and it's this weird mesh of original IP also including the game, like this weird mesh of things that I think would work great for a silly property that doesn't care about itself like clowns.
mhm. Ugh, I do love them clown boys. I would love to see them back. The more we talk about it, I'm glad Duff's not here because he would have shut this conversation
You
down
would
so
shut it
long
right
ago.
down.
Oh, he's gonna be so mad at us.
Mhm.
Oh, we should move on from this though. But I'm very
Yeah.
excited at the aspect of sequels, kind of, you know. So
Listen, when clowns comes up in a news and rumors point, I have to drown it out, or I have to keep talking about it for like 20 minutes. That's just the rule.
Yeah, hey, I'm not arguing. Like I said, I love them clown boys.
So, do you want to move on to our next topic?
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
I don't know anything about this, so I'm gonna ask you to
Okay,
cover
so I'll take it.
it.
I'll take it. I figured, but I'm like, maybe she does. No, no, no. It was going
Assume I know
around Twitter.
nothing.
It was going around Twitter for a little bit. But Universal, I don't remember when. It was before this episode, and before and after the last episode. But Universal was seen having drone tests above the parks. Drones are making some shapes and whatnot, and I mean, the question becomes, what does that mean? What does that mean for Universal? Will they be using drones in the parks during daytime shows? If so, could they use them for Halloween Horror Nights? During things like
Mm.
Marathon of, or not, Ghoulish, Marathon of Mayhem, the Lagoon Show, or even the Nightmare Fuel Show. Like how the potential of what if they decide to use them and if it wasn't just like a random test, the potential of what drones could do at Halloween Horror Nights and making the shows more spectacular are like endless. I think it would be a great addition.
Mm-hmm. I lied when I said I know nothing about this. I know nothing about Universal testing this. I always have to bring wrestling up in every episode somehow now. But WWE has been using this since at least 2021 for WrestleMania because I've been to the last two, and that's not like a brag or anything. I've been, but for certain wrestler entrances, they'll use drones and make shapes. And I know Disney had the same thing with that Christmas show, and they're using drones for whatever. But WWE specifically, like they'll make like the wrestlers like logo or something for their entrance. And what they've been doing, especially like from 2021 to last year, is really impressive. Like just the way that they can fly the drones and like it's all computer automated because you kind of like watch the guys set it up and the show goes and they do the thing and then they go away. So it's something that like is automated. It's not somebody flying a drone around like you think it is. So I would love to see them use this because when WWE uses it, I am like, this is so fucking cool. Oh my God. Like, and there's fireworks going off. There's always pyro. It's the same like kind of thing like an HHN show would be. So they could totally implement this and then use them for daytime and for your seasonal events. And then you've made your money back.
Imagine you're watching the Lagoon Show. It's 32, and Chucky's on the water, and he's saying his lines or whatever. And then the drones come out, and you're like, oh, what are they gonna do? And they just spell out the words. Make sure to watch my show on Sci-Fi.
I I thought you were gonna say snitches get stitches, his famous quote that they put on his merchandise, you know? Um,
Yeah, I mean, he says that in every movie. That whenever he
yeah.
comes alive, that's his first line.
When you say snitches get stitches, I think Chucky. Um, but yeah, no, I think it'd be fucking cool because especially for Ghoulish, because I've seen them make like quote unquote complex shapes, but nothing like crazy. But they can like make things like move and dance, like dancing skeletons on the water would have been really cool, or like a pumpkin talking, or just like different ways that they could have used like the drones. And then you can also like put things on drones now too, so they could fly a
Mm.
character, Pumpkin Lord just flying over like a mannequin. It wouldn't actually be a scare actor on a
No, the
drone.
real
Could you
actor is
imagine?
just on the sitting on the throne.
The pumpkin throne turns into a drone and he just starts flying around the park.
You
No, that's
find out
fucking
that the Pumpkin Lord in the front of the park the whole time has just been drones, and then the real Pumpkin Lord walks out and says, "Guys, I promise that wasn't me. That was an imposter. I'm still as menacing as you remember me from 30. The other guy doesn't count."
it's like the Santa Claus movie with the bad Santa Claus toy. But it's just the pumpkin lord. Let's move on, please. When I brought out the
Exactly.
Santa Claus, we've gone too far.
That's how you know. That's that's how you know. Uh,
Hmm.
okay. So all right. So this do you want to take this next one, Jess?
Sure. So Mardi Gras started yesterday, when we're recording this on Saturday the 4th. Pat O'Brien's over on City Walk. They are actually having a Mardi Gras after party. It's on select Fridays and Saturdays, 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. over on City Walk. So maybe if you don't have a pass, you can't go in the park. There is free parking at City Walk after 6 p.m. So if you want to go and have some Mardi Gras celebration, You can go to Pat O'Brien's. They have a DJ, guitarist, stilts, dueling pianos, free admission, but a reservation is encouraged. I'm not sure how you make a reservation. I'm not gonna lie. Check the Universal app or Google it usually. But I do know some places at Universal and Disney you can like not owned by Universal or Disney, you can use like Google and reserve on there. But it looked fun. We were over by Cursed Coconut last night, and like you could hear the party and see it in the street. It was popping.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll go check it out. But Pat O'Brien's, I think, is like a big like. Is there one in New Orleans? I don't know. Whatever. it's it's a Mardi Gras
Possibly.
thing. I know that they always have a Mardi Gras celebration, so I think that it's like a New Orleans thing. We're Floridians. We know nothing. But yeah, I'll check it out eventually when it's not opening day and Orlando Informer event. Bob Marley's birthday. That's not even a joke. Yeah.
All on
But
opening
yeah.
night. Speaking of opening night,
Should we get into Mardi Gras, Jonathan?
I love how you layered this episode in the beginning of saying the good, and then the good again.
Yeah.
We are now waist
Mhm.
deep into the but I tried to organize this outline and how we're going to talk about Mardi Gras in a way where it's like it's not like it's okay, and then it gets progressively, like you the
Worse.
listener get to step into our shoes on the day of opening night of Mardi Gras, and
Oh.
go along this road with us of progressive emotions. Like starting off, really excited, and then it just sort of dwindling as the day goes on. But before we start anything, we should make note and give a little disclaimer. We both know this is the opening night of a big
Yes.
event. This
We
the
know.
opening nights of anything have lots of problems and are never go exactly as planned, and not
No.
everything's worked out yet. And we both understand that, and hopefully things will get better as the event progresses. But we are going to be talking about now is our experience on opening night, and I don't think we're going to sugarcoat it.
No, and everything Jonathan said, we went knowing it was opening, day for Mardi Gras. I always expect to deal with the bumps. I was never mad at any point, but we are just going to be honest at what happened. That's all it is. And we're going to go back literally in like 2 days to go experience it when it's not a Saturday and slammed. So it's not that we don't like Mardi Gras. So if you don't want to hear the negative, skip ahead to, I don't know, 30 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now for the main segment.
Two
But if you
hours
want to
from
hear
now, no.
Oh, no, we're not going to go on for that long. But it also means that now, once Duff and Mike get back, we all get to go together and then we'll have a big, honest review when we have fun. I still had fun.
Exactly.
Actually, that's a lie. I had a lot of fun yesterday, Jonathan. I don't know about you.
No, it was fun. I love situations where nothing goes as planned. Those
Yeah.
are like some of my favorite memories. And so yeah, I did in the context of that, I had a great time, and there were lots of things that I generally did enjoy, but I also do enjoy a little bit of chaos in my life.
It's because we're both fire signs. I'm just gonna tell you
Exactly.
that right now. We are here for the chaos. But we let's talk about something we did before Mardi Gras opened. Actually, that
Yeah,
was a
that it was like
calm day.
2 days before. I think it was like a Thursday or something.
Yeah, so Thursday, 2 days before, there was an annual pass holder preview for the Tribute Store. So we got to go check that out in the Hollywood location, brand new. We've never had a Tribute Store over there.
It's historic.
It is. Jonathan, what did you think about the new location?
Okay, so I think I don't think there's any way to do this without like sort of like going like sort of room by room, which is only like three,
Hmm.
so it's not like it's going to take forever, because the location is very interesting, because like we've talked about before, it's comprised of three previous stores. It's
Hmm.
the with the old UOAP lounge, which is now in Islands. It's the dark room. I think it's a dark room in the middle there, and then
Hmm.
the last one is the old prop shop. is the last room, and you can tell going into the
Oh
space. I
yeah.
know we were speculating that more space was going to be added from maybe backstage, or there'd be more space that we didn't get to go into previously from those stores, but that
Hmm.
wasn't the case. The store that we have is just it's literally just those three stores combined and nothing more.
Yeah, there's just a door open between the three stores that was probably already there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you walk into the first room and it's themed to be a lounge, the ambassador lounge when you walk into the first room. Then it's an alleyway in New Orleans, and you see the balconies up top and the beads everywhere, and there's like a nice like big like very swampy looking tree. I don't know what kind, but it's in the middle, and then the last one is a speakeasy. Um but walking into the first room, it is the AP lounge. It's it's just a white room. It's still the square room, but they've added some instruments and some posters from Carnaval and Mardi Gras around the world, tie in the festival and everything. But that room to me was very much the most, I guess, underwhelming one.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, just because nothing they didn't really do much to it. Is all.
Yeah, and I get why, because I mean, if you walking in that store on preview, even I think that was one of the biggest, if not the biggest rooms in terms of walking space. Um,
Oh, it was.
and it still felt like I was wall to wall of people. So they couldn't, like, I don't think they could have put a bunch of stuff in that room to make it a little, to add some more stuff to it, or else people wouldn't be able to move. I barely moved with all the stuff not in the room, in the middle of the room sort of being empty. I liked a lot of the posters they did, and I really liked the drum set and the music in the room, and there was like
Hmm.
one or two Easter eggs that were fun. But I once again completely agree with you. We all walked in and we're like, "Oh, this is the UAP lounge." It just like
Yeah.
there was nothing, because usually, like, as a theme park fan, like, even if I know a space is a space, I if something's immersive enough or has enough theming, I can sort of get around that in my head and just be like, "Oh,
Hmm.
I'm in this new space," even though it's the same thing. But I couldn't with this room. It wasn't great.
Yeah, and like you said, the best part of that room is the one piece that they added, the set piece, which is it's like a I don't know, it's like a big tiered stage thing kind of with a drum set at the top.
Hmm.
And that's really cool, and it breaks up the space and it does make it a little different. But this out of the three rooms, if we're gonna rank them, this is my least favorite for sure.
But luckily, I think we're about to go into everyone's. Like, I'm assuming everyone who went in
Oh,
that day. But
it's because it's Dead Waters the room. That's what
but
it
it's
is.
not just Dead Waters. It's also Spirits of the Coven, the room.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, so the next room is great. It also gives me like little HHN vibes, I guess, which is probably why it's everybody's favorite.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's literally. I mean, you described the room in terms of like what was in the main section of the room, but there was this, like, in order to get to the next room, there was a little, like, a miniature facade of going to the next room, and it
Mm.
literally looked like the facade from Spirits of the Coven. Like,
I
it's
didn't even
not, but
think about that.
it
Oh,
it looked so heavily inspired by it, or like they just took
it is.
pieces from Spirits of the Coven and put it there. But just looking at that area, I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm at HHN again.
Because you probably are. Uh,
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but yeah, I
Oh,
really
I've really nothing else to say there.
oh wait, but there are if you're gonna find Easter eggs, so far it's gonna be in that room from what I found. Um,
Mhm.
but there's a bunch of posters in there where, if you're on Twitter and Discords or anything, you'll recognize some of the names. So those are really cool, and I think Skipper Haas did those. And then up on the balconies, you guys should look because there are some masks from Sweets from this past year. So there's the baby, the clown, and the cat. And there's just
That
like a
that room
bunch
was
of,
just trying to make me cry. There were so many
yeah,
things at this year's Mardi Gras, but when we get to when you get the cursed coconut, we'll talk about it too. That just wanted to make me cry by seeing past things from 31. I'm like, no, I wanted to be 31 again. God damn it, I'm not over
yeah,
it.
I miss it. And but go visit them. They're just chilling out. Go say, baby, baby. It won't do anything, but it's there. Um,
Unless you
and then
believe hard
something.
enough.
Oh, maybe it's like Tinkerbell. If you believe
Exactly.
in fairies. Um, but something that we only experienced on Thursday was when you walked into that second room, there was a team member who said the password is Earl the Squirrel. And that was not an aspect I saw yesterday.
No, I mean there was two aspects, right? So the first team member told you the password, which is Earl the Squirrel before you got in the room, and then
Hmm.
when you were trying to leave the room from the Spirits of the Coven esque facade, the other team member there wouldn't let you pass. I mean,
Yeah.
in quotation marks, they weren't going to stop you from going, but they wouldn't let you pass unless you told them the password, and they asked, "What's the password?"
Yeah.
So I mean that was an addition that I think we all knew was not going to last
Yeah.
past the first day, and we were absolutely right.
Oh, yeah, no, I said that. I said that is not gonna stay. I'm sorry.
Like
Oh, but in
maybe when there's like three people, like early and no one's in the tribute store, maybe they'll do it. But other than that,
yeah,
it's not gonna work.
like the weekdays, like an off day or Sunday evening or something, maybe. But no, Fridays and Saturdays, you're not gonna get that experience.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing I wanted to talk about before we went into the actual tribute store was when we went, there was a queue set up for the pass holders, which they expected. I assumed that we would all be there. Um, but there wasn't one yesterday. I don't know if you saw one earlier in the day, but we didn't go that way until later. So
Hmm.
I don't know if they did a queue outside or not. But we were in one. It moved very quickly. I think we were in line for like 2 minutes. But the queue went all the way from the pass holder lounge entrance, the tribute store entrance, to the exit of the prop shop or what used to be the entrance of the prop shop. And they had you exiting out of a side door. Um,
Which
so it's not going to work for HHN.
exactly, it's not this space. I mean, not only that, extended queue is not gonna work. If it's still like that, and they still do it that
Hmm.
way. But also the store itself, I appreciate them trying to make this space work, and I mean they did amazing things in this space, but it's too
Yeah.
crowded. No matter, like, we even went the last like 30 minutes of parks being open, and we went in there. It was still felt like we were wall to wall with people. Um,
Yeah.
the place is the actual space is too tiny for a lot of people to go through, and right now it's Mardi Gras, Mardi Gras tribute store, which is a big tribute store, but it's nothing compared to HHN tribute stores. HHN tribute stores are the get insane lines, always are filled to like filled with people trying to buy all the merchandise and HHN stuff. If it can't handle Mardi Gras, efficiently, which I think a lot of that is due to the exit too, which we'll talk about in a minute. The way
Hmm.
the cash register is set up. But if it can't handle Mardi Gras, there is no doubt in my mind that it can't handle HHN. It isn't not going to work.
No. Oh my God. Not at all. And especially, for HHN, even with it being in a bigger location that, the New York airspace is, um, there's normally a line. Like, not all the time, but busy nights, there's usually a line just because they can't control that, checkout line inside the store. So they'll have to stop people coming in for a little bit and there'll be a queue outside. So this is a smaller space and you are putting it in a location that always has a scare zone. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that queue took up most of the sidewalk. And normally there are sets there. That sidewalk is already very limited. So, like when you add sets out for a scare zone, and yeah, they bring a lot out, but last year for Graveyard, a lot of those were stationary over on the curb. So, what are we going to do? And I know that there's the big, like, I don't even know if it's a rumor. I don't know if it's confirmed or anything, but the big talk right now is this is only for Mardi Gras to use the Mummy extended queue, through the summer. and then they'll close it and start building the HHN one, and it'll be back in New York for HHN. If that's true, great. That makes the most sense. But the Mummy Extended Queue hasn't been open since how long? Like years at this point.
Yep, I think so.
So why are we're just going to open it for a couple months and then close it? And then HHN is also a busy season for the Mummy too, because it's one of the only things that's open. So I really hope that that rumor is true and we're going back to New York for the HHN one. But if not, I don't know how I'm going to be able to survive with this as our new normal.
Please don't make me think that. Don't make me think it's the new normal. I can't do it. I can't
I'm
do
going to be
it.
shopping for everything up in the front. I won't go into the tribute store to buy anything anymore.
Tribute stores are like one of the best things about HHN now,
Yeah.
which is weird, but it is. I don't want that taken away from me. I don't know. Oh God,
It's
that
okay. It's all just speculation at this point, but hey, something to talk about.
exactly. Speaking of things to talk about, the last room, the cash register.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
after
Oh,
you
the
enter,
speakeasy.
yeah, like once you're in there, it looks cool, but
Hmm.
I don't even know how it's laid out. But there, like the there is an area where there's a line, but like people don't know there's a line, and they're just standing and looking at props,
Hmm.
and people are like, it's very disorganized about where the line is and the placement of it, and how it's like right at the exit, and people are trying to come in through the exit, and it's like that area is like a bottleneck. It's very strange.
I feel like if I'm understanding the old prop shop correctly, and I could be completely wrong, but I feel like when you enter the speakeasy, you're entering from like where you remember that old Chance mannequin that used to be in there, like that Harley Quinn looking bitch? And she used to be like in the front left of the store. I feel
I
like
do
that's kind
not.
of okay. Well, I feel like we enter from like the front left of the prop shop and then go
Okay.
in, and the staircase I think is behind that wall that has the bottles on it. I think. And I think that's why it's so tight
Hmm.
in there. I don't think they took anything down because there was that staircase up in the prop shop. And I think
Right.
we swing around, and then the case and the checkout is what used to be the checkout, like for the prop shop.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, and
I can.
then we're like, I think they cut a lot of, Williams of Hollywood out, unless I'm just completely bullshitting. And the fireplace, I feel like, was, in that little corner that had the HHN stuff and the seasonal stuff when you first walked in.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think
think you're
that's
right.
where we are. I could be wrong, but again, the room to me, I feel like we cut out so much space for no reason. We could have incorporated the staircase. We didn't have to throw a wall up there. You could have put the bottles on the staircase, like for all I care. Um, and it just would have opened it up, and it feels very crammed, and that is like my least favorite part of this room. Like theming wise, it's great, but both times we've been in there, the treats case is in the tiniest hallway that everybody has to pass through, so the line becomes a bottleneck for anybody waiting. Even if one person is waiting for to give them treats, it's a line and it's a bottleneck. So
Yeah.
it's just I like it, but I wish that like it made sense, especially for something that's open during spring break. That's my issue.
Yeah. No, I don't love saying negative things about tribute stores because they're
Same.
they're an extra, and they Universal does not need to do them at all. It's
No.
something that is like a complete. I don't even know how much it helps them compared to just having a regular store with Mardi Gras merchandise in it. I'm sure people would go in and buy the same merchandise, but it's a nice extra thing. But the reason I feel like it's important to critique it is because, like specifically with this space, I think Universal needs to know that I'm sure they might be figuring out that in order for tribute stores to hopefully like I don't know like stay as popular as they are to like annual pass holders, like there needs to be more space for people to walk, and because
Mhm.
especially annual pass holders, like they're if really any place. If there's any place that's like incredibly crowded, usually like they turn right around. Like not dealing with that. I can come back another day.
Literally, that's what I do normally. Yeah, I just don't like being negative, and I'm not trying to, be negative about something that, like you said, is an extra. So I think it's a good store. I think the people that put work into it, good on you. You should be proud of it. It looks good. I just need more time to appreciate it when it's not so crowded
Yes,
because it
which
is
I'm
very
excited for
small.
Tuesday.
Yes, we'll be there Tuesday. I'm hoping nobody will be there. We're not in crazy busy season yet. So a lot of the things we're bitching about, next episode we might have glowing reviews about. So, but your day, like your experience, can affect how you feel about something. So I feel like being honest is the best thing we can do because we're locals and we can see the evolution of Mardi Gras from now to April.
And let's for a minute talk about something that I think was great across the board. And that
Hmm.
is something that Universal has been doing consistently with Mardi Gras since for a long time, and that is the atmosphere of Mardi Gras. I think no matter the crowds, no matter I mean the crowds are always going to affect us, but no matter like the environment, the music, the performers just walking around, the stuff they have everywhere, the Mardi Gras props, the boots, the theming of the boots, the and the music around the park. It is very much you feel Mardi Gras going in, and
Hmm.
I think the atmosphere of the events is very present and great. I mean, you can feel the energy throughout the entire park.
Yeah. Oh, that's why, like, even though it sounds like we didn't have a good time, like, we really did. I want to, like, reiterate that. I had such a good time. I was laughing the whole time. Even through any of the things I'm bitching about, I came out smiling and was like, that was good. We'll come back. Like, none of this is to bitch at Universal or anything. So, um, the atmosphere killed it. And, like, I don't even, besides the last, like, part of the night, I don't think we really ran into people who were too upset either at Universal, like any of the other guests. So,
No, I don't think so. But we should probably get to something that you had a personal experience with. I did too. And it's actually might refute your point for a second. I'm not sure. I wasn't in the area. But let's talk about the food booths. Uh, so would you like to tell your magical story?
yes. So we got there, in the afternoon. So I heard earlier in the day there were not issues, and people were able to get food quickly, and things weren't running out, and there weren't lines. But when we got there, there were lines for the food booths, and that's fine. I expect that. I have no issues waiting in lines. It's a theme park. I'm used to it. But we get to the back of the park over by like I don't even know what do we call what's that area? What do we call that area? In the middle of the fucking lagoon. um,
There's just the bridge in the lagoon connecting
yeah,
connecting Simpsons and
Potter and Men in
yeah,
Black.
Potter.
Yeah, so where the Chucky photo op has been for the last couple years, there's three booths over there. So there's Belgium, Germany, and Denmark. So I'm in line with my sister and Mary for Germany, and we all get different things or whatever. Ashley and I get the same thing, and Mary gets something different. Um, Ordered it very quickly. That was great. Everyone's in good spirits. We're all laughing. The team members are laughing. We're in line for the food. Mary and Ashley are handed their food, and then they say, "Okay, we're out of the chicken." And it's chicken schnitzel, and I was like, "Okay," and that's what I ordered. My sister had gotten the last one, and that's fine. They're like, "It's gonna be like 15, 20 minutes," and I was like, "I'll wait because the whole park is crowded. If I go anywhere else, I'm still gonna have to wait in a line. I'd rather just get it." So everyone behind me like does the same thing. So we're standing there. The team member's talking to me. I'm literally the first one in line. They can serve the other items, so they're doing that. We're all in good spirits. We're laughing. 20 minutes turns into 30, turns into 35. The manager just keeps saying, "We can give you guys the other item instead." And we're like, "No, no, no, we're fine. No one's mad. We're all still vibing, like just chilling in a line." But the line is like 45 people deep at this point. It was from the Germany booth all the way past the Belgium booth, like almost on its way to the Potter facade. So do with that information as you will. um, in the meantime, Jonathan's standing there waiting. My husband's standing there. Ashley's already eaten her thing. Like everybody's just chilling, and I'm still waiting for this chicken. I'm still not upset, and I'm not upset now. It was worth it. It was really fucking good. But it was 45 minutes until I was given my chicken. And what happened was they're prepping this stuff off site, which is fine. I expect that. That's what, Disney does, and they'll finish it there. It's what a lot of the theme parks do because it's faster that way. The issue was they weren't prepping it fast enough or they didn't have enough made. So the preps were not happening quick enough. They were not getting it through the park fast enough. And the stuff had to be fully cooked at the booth. So like the chicken was raw. So then once the chicken got there, it took another 15 minutes to cook. Um so like I just don't think logistically they have the booths worked out because every booth you would go to, they would tell you the same thing. And you wouldn't hear until you waited in line for like 15 minutes and got to the cashier, which is fine. It happens. I don't expect them to scream out every 5 seconds, like, food is taking this long. That doesn't look good. But we were in line at another stand and it happened again. And they said, food's like 45 minutes wait at least. And my sister's like, okay, I'll get this instead, like a dessert. And she's like, same time frame. Okay, we'll just get alcohol. And everyone we talked to that we saw, it was a very, like, the same situation. All the booths had run out of food. Prep wasn't happening fast enough. Food wasn't being made fast enough. All people were doing was drinking. I didn't see like any belligerent people. I assume they were there because it's a theme park. But if that's an issue across the whole park, this was opening day on a Saturday. Patti LaBelle was performing. Like, Mardi Gras is a big deal. You have to realize, like, the snowbirds are down. Why don't you expect to have this number of people at your park? And I understand, like, you can't prep so much because then it'll go bad in a couple days. Mardi Gras goes on every day. The booths are open every single day. You need to prep more or you need to figure out smaller portion sizes because the chicken was fucking massive. First of all, that's why it took 20 minutes to cook. It was like an entire chicken thigh, and I'm not mad about it. But that's it. It's not even a rant. I'm just like, I feel like Universal never expects the amount of people that show up. And at this point, I feel like they really should.
I agree. I completely agree. I mean, I didn't really have much to eat that day because I was expecting to stuff my face with Mardi Gras
Mhm.
food, because that was the plan. But I didn't eat anything from Mardi Gras because all the booths were either, I mean, the lines were insane, or the booths were ran out of food, or
Mhm.
this and that. Like there was no way for we to like obtain food unless we wanted to like sacrifice going to the parade, which even then you could have waited in a line and be like, oh well, the food's actually going to take this amount of time. It wouldn't be worth it. But I completely agree. They should have expected the opening day of Mardi Gras to be crazy, and I hope that they fix this issue in the future, and I hope that when we go on Tuesday, we'll have no problems with the food and whatnot, because the food itself looks great. Your chicken looked
Mhm.
great. The options that I'm seeing for like all the food booths look amazing and way more varied than they have been in Mardi Gras in the past, at least especially compared to last year. I mean, even
Mhm.
City Walk has boots that are different than anything in Universal, which is kind of crazy. We didn't even realize that till walking out of the park that these boots have completely different food. An octopus on it, like what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to try all this stuff. I just I'm happy about the food choices. I just hopefully want to be able to eat them soon.
Literally,
And ingest them and enjoy the items.
I bought that the gift card, the annual pass holder deal, like expecting to use some of it, and I bought a chicken I waited an hour for and a drink because that's all I could get. And even then, like, okay, actually, here's a positive. I want to stop talking about the negative. The food was fucking good. I will be getting the schnitzel again. I'm just curious to see in the next week or so how different the portion sizes are because they're going to realize that they can't cook full meals at these booths in the time that they need to. So are they going to lower prices because I'm not paying $10 for half of the portion when I just got this big portion yesterday. You know
That's
what
the
I mean?
problem.
Like,
I really don't think they're going to lower the prices. I think they're going
yeah.
to lower the portions, And obviously, I hope they don't, and I hope everything's great, and we could just be talking out of our ass. Um, but
Always.
I really think like most events, what happens is the opening night and the opening day. Like, look at how great this is. Look how big the portions are, especially when everyone is vlogging and media and all that stuff. And then once
Mm,
that's over, it's like, all right, now we got to make it more reasonable. And then the portions are a little bit lower, So I have a
yeah.
strong suspicion that's what's going to happen, but I hope it doesn't, because if it does, like you were saying, the prices would. I don't like. I would use my food and beverage card for other things. As much as I want to try those items, I'm not paying $10 for something that's gonna be like I need three more to actually feel full.
Yeah. But maybe on Tuesday I'll go check out that schnitzel booth again and go, "How you doing?" Just just see what's going on over there and
Can
report
you
back.
just,
But
chef? Can you just hold up the chicken? I just want to. I'm gonna take my picture of the chicken, and I'm just gonna put it side by side.
I was best friends with the team member giving the food out. So 45 minutes, you'll bond with people. The people behind me in line were best friends.
That's
But
what
a
Mardi Gras is all
positive.
about.
That
Bonding.
is, and that's the thing. I never like even waiting an hour for chicken, I was not having a bad time. And like I felt bad that like you guys were waiting, but you guys looked like you were laughing. Nobody said they were
No,
mad.
we
So
were we were good. The only bad time I had out of the whole thing
mhm.
was remembering that I had a stomach that was hungry. That was the only thing.
I thought you
I'm
were gonna
watching the
say
parade. I'm
our
like,
last
hmm.
adventure. I
Oh
thought you were
yeah.
gonna say the last thing, but never mind.
The last thing isn't related to Mardi Gras. But
Not at all.
that part did make me very angry. Damn you, Red Oven. But no, just like was having fun watching the parade and stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm starving.
Yeah.
I forgot.
uh, yeah. But positive, the one positive for food
Yes,
and everything is so I said that you could get drinks. I had a drink. The bigger Blinky Cup options are back, which we had in 2021. No, 2020. I'm sorry. I believe. Yeah, 2020, right before, the pandemic hit and everything shut down. Mardi Gras had started. They were offering larger Blinky cups and larger refills as well as the regular size ones. So I believe it's a 12 ounce and a 20 ounce or a 16 and a 20 ounce. I can't remember. But there's two options. The cups look the same. They're not the cutest, but they're just the clear ones with that like weird lip again. It's not the colored lip from last year, but it's that same kind of design where it still has this like defined rim around it. I don't know why. But they blink purple. I would love to see some green and yellow thrown in there later in the season, but I think we're just getting purple. But yeah, bigger drinks so you can drink more. The drinks were strong yesterday. I know Jonathan can't speak on it yet, but he
almost, but
will
not yet.
he will get to experience Mardi Gras as a legal
I
drinking age adult this year.
I will. I will. I'm almost there.
You got to
So
start
close.
reading the menus and deciding which one you're the most excited for and which is going to be your first in the park. That's important.
I'm gonna have no idea. Like, I'm gonna see like all
Oh
these items. Like, I
no.
don't know how any of these taste like, so I don't know.
I lied. You're gonna have to take a pickleback with us. That's gonna be your first drink in the park
Oh,
if it's with Duff and I.
okay.
It's gonna be a
I do like
pickleback.
pickle
Have you met
juice.
us? What?
I do
You
like
do or
pickle
you don't?
juice, so
Okay.
I
Do you
do.
like? Well, you're gonna have to like whiskey.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I do or not for that, but
Well, we'll get there. But yeah. So the food booths, I know it'll get better, but eh, I'm excited for Tuesday. But the parade, everyone's favorite part. Throw me something, Mister. Um, I love the music. I will say that just to start. I will always be singing that loop. Feet don't fail me now. It just puts you in like a vibe. I don't care how bad of a day I've had. If I hear the parade music from Mardi Gras, I will be dancing. Confirmed.
the music is great, and the additional floats for is this theme? What is this themed as international festival you're in, or is there like a
It's like
special theme to it?
so I don't know if we're calling it the theme, but I know that like the additions and like the like some of the merch is like mythological. like
That
creatures.
that has to be what it is, or at least what the parade is, or like the new,
I
like
think
you
it
said, the
is. I
new
think somebody
additions
said
are.
it was because there's the phoenix float. There's a serpent. There's a dragon. There, maybe the dragon is the serpent.
There's
Now
a
that I'm thinking,
creepy
that's
tree.
there's like a tree that talks. Check out our Twitter at HHN365 if you want to see the tree. Um,
I had no
I
idea what to
really
post
like.
that day. I'm like, here's this face from a tree that scares me, and here you go.
It's very much giving Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas.
See, you
But
see that? I saw the tree from the Rainforest Cafe in like the
it's same thing.
store.
Same thing. I used to call the tree in Rainforest Cafe because there was one down at Sawgrass Mall, which was by where I lived growing up. I called it
Hmm.
Grandmother Willow.
Well, there we
I called that
go.
tree grandma. And like, yeah, my mom was like, "That's not." And I was like, "That's Grandmother Willow."
It's
So
like,
it's
no,
the
that's
same thing in my
Tracy
head.
Tree. Get it right.
It is Tracy Tree.
It is Tracy
Um,
Tree.
Jonathan, how did you know that?
I've been to that Rainforest Cafe in the Sawgrass Mall many times.
I believe you. I didn't know you and Tracy Tree were like close like that. Wow.
No, no, no. Okay, so like here's the backstory behind that. My brother got obsessed with like a video of like some guy going to every rainforest cafe in the world for some stupid reason, and
Goals.
so like he had this stupid video playing in the background like at home, and so I'm just doing random shit, and I just hear in the background all these specific names of rainforest cafe items and characters, and I feel like it's all been drilled into my brain. And to top it all off, like after we finished the video, he wouldn't shut up about Rainforest Cafe until we finally ended up taking him to a Rainforest Cafe. And the whole time, like, he didn't like any of the food because it's not good, but he was just like
No.
naming everything. And I'm just like, oh my God. It's like, I'm having safari fries. It's
Oh
like,
my
okay.
god. I love that. You know, we need more Rainforest Cafe fans out there. Uh,
Do we though?
I don't fucking know.
I don't think we do.
The parade, I think it had 6 new floats. Is that what they I'm moving on, Jonathan. Is that what they
Oh
uh,
God, what have we done to this episode?
Stuff's gonna kill us. He's gonna
He's
kill
gonna kill. He's
me.
like, what the fuck, Rainforest Cafe?
I don't think he's gonna kill you. I think he's gonna kill me. Um, the parade. So we're gonna talk about the good, and then we're gonna talk about something real fast afterwards that happened last
Real
night.
fast.
But the parade, I think it's 6 new floats. The ones that you always want to see are there. The one with the balcony, like the French Quarter. But they all look like they've been plussed. They normally do, do some things to them. But new lighting. There's a lot of like LED strips. It looks like on that. That's probably wrong, but there's a lot more lighting details I've noticed on like the older floats, and the newer floats are killing it. Out of I don't know if it's the mermaid float. I don't know what we're calling it because I saw people arguing on Twitter that they weren't mermaids. But they look like mermaids to me. They had fog bubbles, like from Killer Clowns. So, like coming
Yes.
off the float, it was really fun. There was fire on the Phoenix. There was fog on something. There was a unicorn float. That was really fun. There was like a woodland fairy. Was that the tree? That was the tree one, wasn't it?
Oh, should we talk about that one?
Um,
Because you were the one who pointed it out, and I think you're 100% right.
what
So
did I say?
we needed we once again context before Jess says anything. Remember, Superstar Parade is no longer in
Oh,
operation. All right, now
I
you can
forgot.
continue.
Um, so that one particularly is the Dora the Explorer float from Superstar Parade, and you cannot tell me otherwise. I don't care if you
it,
made
it
the float and
is.
you're telling me I'm wrong. It is the Dora one. It is the tree. Like it is the Dora float. So I think that the new floats are reused Superstar floats, which is smart. Got the thing, make it a new thing, and now you're saving money for HHN.
That's my
Right?
favorite
That's where it
thing.
goes.
Whenever
It
Universal
goes.
saves money, it just goes like, okay, that money can be used for Halloween Horror Nights. It's
They
like
don't funnel it into
VillainCon.
Epic. They
It's like
funnel it into
VillainCon. Like
HHN.
Exactly. They don't funnel to anything else improving the parks. It all goes to Halloween Horror Nights.
They
Every
should.
single penny.
That's how we get things like Hell Block Horror.
Don't do that to me.
I brought it up first. I did it. You're welcome.
This is
Um,
such an H moment.
oh, H is in the chat. But yeah, no, I really liked the new floats. I thought the new costumes were cute, and as always, the performers bring the energy. Oh my god, I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they walk on stilts and dance for 45 minutes. But we were over by Mel's, so we got to watch the parade come by twice when it starts and ends. They still had the same amount of energy as when they started, especially considering what happened.
Yeah, should we talk about what happened?
I think we should talk about what happened. So,
You know the
um,
specifics.
I do know the specifics. Don't ask me how I know these specifics, how I know this is not important. But if you were there last night, you might have noticed that the parade stopped for a little bit. Where we were at the start, we had gotten to the gator. So I think the gator was like the end of it was stopped right in front of us, right? That
Mm-hmm.
sounds about right. So what actually had happened was I'm trying to pull up my source. So one of the floats in the parade turning right at the front of the park coming because the parade starts at the gate over by La Bamba. It makes a left and goes around the front of the park in front of the main store, goes past Minions, goes around New York in front of the Mummy, then makes the right, goes past Transformers, the left at Mel's, and then goes back in that gate. So you can watch it twice if you're over in front of Horror Makeup, over in the annual pass holder section, which is over in front of Mel's, just over there. But so on the turning by the front of the park, in front of the Universal Superstore, it did not make the turn, and the float went up on the curb. And that I
Ooh.
heard was the Serpent, so one of the new
Mm-hmm.
ones. And then another float, which was the Phoenix. That one didn't make the turn. Like it wasn't going to make it at all. So they had to stop and back the float up and do like a 3-point turn to get it around the turn. So there were just a lot of logistical things happening yesterday, and all departments obviously. So they do run the parade beforehand. They have dress rehearsals, but it's not with a crowd. So those drivers they might be nervous. That's scary. You got people in the back. Nobody was hurt. Nothing happened. The parade was able to continue, but it did stop for like 10-15 minutes. And I'm not being dramatic on that. It I think Patti LaBelle had to go on late because the parade got held up.
Which that's not good. That's really
No.
not good. For I mean for anyone doing concerts, but like it's really not good. I'm giving so much props to those performers and even
Mhm.
the regular people on the floats for doing their best to stay energetic, like while
Yeah.
having to stay in the same spot for like 20 minutes and hear sort of the same music loop over and over again. Like that must be maddening. But I mean, props to everybody like on the parade for keeping the energy up as much as they could. But
Yeah.
it was not a good day for operations, like you said, in any sector of the park for Mardi Gras. And once again, opening night things happen, but I don't think I've I've been to a lot of opening nights lately with horror nights and Mardi Gras and Christmas and a lot of things. I don't think I've seen one I haven't been doing I haven't been doing opening nights a lot in my life, but I don't think I've seen one mess up this much
Mhm.
since yesterday.
Yeah, and I've been to, like you said, I've been to, even in 2020 before it closed down for the pandemic. I was at the opening for that one as well, and that was like, I feel like that was the first year we got like a bigger festival. It wasn't the Festival of Flavors or anything yet, but it was larger than we had had before. And I don't remember that one being anything like this, and even the pandemic ones and everything. Like, and they probably have hired seasonal team members and stuff like that. So we're used to it with HHM, but I think HHN is a very well oiled machine because even if you move things to new house locations or whatnot, it people know what they're doing and they've been doing it for a long time, and new people are just kind of new cogs in the wheel. So we'll figure it out. But this, I feel like Mardi Gras, it's having growing pains because it has grown significantly in the last couple years and has become more
Mm-hmm.
popular. And it's something that brings people to Universal. And I think it's more of a draw, especially because it goes on during spring break. People, if they've seen Harry Potter already, maybe they think, oh, I'll just go to Disney. I don't need to come back. But now they've got Mardi Gras going on and they could be like, oh, well, I need to go there now too because that looks really fun. I've heard great things. They need to expect more because I feel like Universal's attendance just keeps going up and up and up just based on like being a local and being there all the time.
Mm-hmm. And should we get to talking about the thing that I think we were all the most excited for
Yeah.
Mardi Gras, like leading up to it?
Yeah. I
I
yeah.
wish I could talk about it. I wish I could give my complete opinions on the space itself. But to be completely honest, I didn't even walk in. I didn't walk into it. And what we're talking about now is the Cursed Coconut Club at Red Coconut Club. They've been doing these rethemes for a while, starting with Dead
Mhm.
Coconut Club in HHN 31. And this is the Mardi Gras version. And from the outside, it's great. You got fog pumping. You have pieces from Graveyard Deadly Unrest, which is incredible. Seeing those again in this new way with graffiti on it and stuff, it's very
Yeah.
very cool. But you, Jess, you got to see the inside as I was waiting an hour for my pizza at Red Brick Oven. I'm still mad about that. But what was your experience?
Um, so we were very excited to go in there, and I did not get to see the red and green one for Christmas. I had only seen Dead Coconut Club. Loved it. I had been there a couple times, but I had never seen it later on in the evening when it turned to like a club. And I had heard, it's not everybody's favorite. I had only been there, before they had the singers and then when they had the singers. So I knew it was a club and I heard the music and everything, but walking in, it was packed. Like I've never seen that venue so crowded. And good for them, they deserve it. But I was not able to really see much of like the main area, like the dance floor and everything. Because you just couldn't, there were wall to wall people. But I was able to see the entryway and it looks really good. The team, I think, always does a good job. I need to see more of it because, again, I didn't get to see a lot of it. But it looked very similar to kind of how Dead Waters was decorated, which is kind of what I was expecting because again, that was kind of like a voodoo-y New Orleans house.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks good. I don't know if it looks better than Dead Coconut Club because I really loved the decor in there. So we need to go back, I guess, on another weekend because should we talk about the hours? But yeah, it was just wall to wall people, and upstairs there is again the upstairs. But I walked up there and started having an instant anxiety attack just because I don't do well in like large crowds like that. So we had to dip, unfortunately. But Jonathan didn't even make it
Yeah.
in because Red Oven everywhere at Universal was slammed on Saturday. Slammed.
Red Oven had a big problem, and this isn't super related to Mardi Gras, but it is because I mean Mardi Gras was the reason it was so slammed, and Red Oven had a problem where you can mobile order pizzas, and usually it takes like 20 minutes, and then you get a pizza. Sometimes it's even less. Uh, we mobile ordered well in advance, and by the time we got there, it took most of us 45 minutes to like an hour get to get a pizza. That's was when your mobile order, it's supposed to take like 10-15 minutes. And
Hmm.
so we were um we were waiting for such a long time for that. It was just a lot. It was a very not a great way to end the night.
No, and like we ordered it when we were in Universal. Like when we said we're here, because normally if you say that and walk, it's like a 5 minute walk. The pizza's ready. It was another hour after that. But again, we're not here to talk about that. But yeah, we didn't get to do Cursed Coconut Club. And again, like what happened with Red and Green Coconut Club, the hours are weird. The hours are so weird. So, yesterday on the app it said it was closed Monday through Friday, but now it says varies. So I don't know when and if that's going to be updated, but right now assume that it's not open Monday through Friday, maybe in the busier season. Maybe more into like March, April. But then Saturday it's 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. And then Sunday, right now it says 11:30 p.m. to 12 a.m., which is half an hour. Uh, but Jonathan was saying before we started recording, he thinks that that might just be like a weekly thing that they're going to update, which I hope so, because 30 minutes is not, it's not it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's absolutely not. Like, it has to be an updated thing. There's no way they're just opening the club for 30 minutes, and there's no way. And if the hours are constantly being updated on the app, then that's great. Because we know as we're recording, which is a Sunday, there is a private event going on, and I think the you said you saw a sign that said it was opening at 11:30.
um, I don't remember.
Oh,
Yesterday's
never
all I
mind. Never mind. I thought
sorry.
you did. My brain is
No, I might have.
going crazy. But regardless, if I mean if the app can tell you when there's an event going on instead of having to go all the way there to figure out when there's an event going on and when the Coconut Club is actually going to be open. That would be a huge plus from before. So hopefully that's what's actually happening here. And later we will, I mean, I guess tomorrow we'll find out if the hour. Not tomorrow because it's Monday through Friday. I'm not even sure what exact days it's going to open. We'll probably
Mhm.
find out next Saturday if the hours are the same or not, or next week to see if to see if it is open for just 30 minutes on Sundays, which would be very very crazy.
That'd be a shame. I do. Oh, I okay. I didn't see a sign. I remember what you're saying now. Sorry. I did see that Universal was responding on Twitter today saying that it was a private event. So I think it might just be the hours for today, like you were saying. But that is so. I do they normally update like that? I've never seen them update something weekly, like a one space on the app. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't know why. But we'll see soon because I again staffing bartenders and well, I guess that's all you need there is bartenders and the DJ for just 30 minutes and to open and then have to clean a venue. That's ridiculous. There's no way that's accurate. Um, but I'm curious again because this is only open till midnight now too. Pat O'Brien's is open till 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. So I wish that they would just push it out and kind of match that because that's when City Walk closes, right? I think is 1 a.m.
I
I
think
don't normally
so.
party. I'm not a City Walk partier. I guess I need to be, but um, yeah. So I'm excited to check it out soon. Before I guess 10 p.m. I think is when it turns into that club atmosphere. Uh, so Curse Coconut Club, and that was Mardi Gras.
That was Mardi Gras. We have just discussed opening day and everything like that. Once again, I hope everything gets a lot smoother later. Just this was our experience opening night, and I really hope it gets better, which it
I
most
think it
likely
will.
will.
It always does. Even, HHN, there's always something we bitch about, to the end of the world. And then they'll either fix it or they'll completely remove it. And we just won't talk about it again or we'll talk about it forever. But I'm excited for Tuesday. I think it's going to be a lot calmer, especially because when we were there Thursday, we walked around and it wasn't super, super busy. So the weekdays are obviously less crowded, but I'm just excited to eat some food without waiting 45 minutes for it. That's really all it is.
Absolutely.
And it was funny because Finnegan's didn't have a line the whole day.
It didn't have a line?
Nope, I did not wait in a line when I said I'm going to get a drink. I walked in. They made me go through the door that has the line normally for HHN. I walked right to my favorite bartender and she made my drink without me speaking. It was like the most blissful Finnegan's experience I've ever had on the busiest day. I don't
Well,
know how
that's
I
your
got
trick. Well, I mean,
I don't
that's
know
the big
how.
trick, right? If you go to Mardi Gras, just go to Finnegan's.
I guess cuz I literally I didn't say it, but I must have thought it and it must have jinxed our entire day. It's my fault. Cuz it happened and I just kind of thought I was like, wow, this is all working out really well. It's like it's not
How
that
dare
busy.
you? How dare you think that?
I know. Well,
You doomed us all.
we got in what 20 minutes before my sister and we had no issue at parking. She said that it was a shit show. So we got there and we're just so blissfully unaware of everything and then the world just said ha ha ha. And then a lady clotheslined herself on a stanchion on an ECV
Oh,
apparently. There were a lot of stories coming out on like all the social media. Like I stay in the annual pass holder group just for the drama. I know we all do. But I don't post, but people were posting about everything in there. There were pictures of the parade, there were pictures of the lady who clotheslined herself. There were like crazy. And I'm just over here like, I just wanted food. I just wanted to eat. Jonathan and
that's all
I
I
are over
want.
there
I just
starving.
wanted to give you exactly. I just wanted to give you my money, Universal. That's like, please
Take
take
my
it.
money. Oh no, they took the money. They just wouldn't tell you the food was an hour late. And then they would offer you something that was $4 cheaper instead with no refund,
That
which
was
is
the
not
silliest thing to
universal.
me.
That's just
It's not.
individual food.
It's that's overworked Universal. That's what it is.
Yes.
Universal
I
has
felt
too
so
much stuff at the same time, and nobody knows what to do.
bad. No. And then they said that scheduling, like, because again, I was best friends with someone at the booth. The person I was talking to was saying scheduling had them leaving early and they were like expecting to close the booth down early and like halfway through the day management was like ha ha ha.
We
So
tricked
I
you.
feel bad for the team members because they were dealing with a lot, I bet. So bless you if you were working Mardi Gras yesterday, if you're going to work Mardi Gras this season. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But wow, we just talked about Mardi Gras for so much longer than I expected, Jonathan.
Yeah, I honestly was thinking it would be 20 minutes. Like,
That's what we
you
said. If you
know.
fast forwarded expecting us to be done, this is what
Oops.
happens. But we did mention, I know in the last couple weeks that Duff and Mike were going to have a segment on this episode. So they went out to Vegas and they did something really cool. We can't tell you about it just yet. We have to hold off a couple weeks just because you'll find out. I can't really
Reasons.
tell you. I can't really tell you, honestly, but it's really cool. So that's not part of this. And in the beginning of the episode, we lied. We said there was going to be a main segment, but we think that we've talked about Mardi Gras for enough that I think Mardi Gras was our main segment, Jonathan.
I think it was. I think everyone who wanted to hear about the HHN part probably has already left the episode.
Oh yeah, they're pissed
Has
at us.
already turned it off.
They're already writing. They're leaving a voicemail. They're writing us on Twitter. We're gonna have a DM somewhere. I'm sorry, but now next week we'll have Duff and possibly Mike. Hopefully Mike. All four of us can do the IPs that we want to see again. So
That's yeah. This was just a teaser for that
ooh
episode.
ooh, kind of like the Halloween lack of facade in 31, right?
Why are we remembering these houses? I don't want to remember
Because
these
I
things.
think I called it horror blue balls. So
Oh my god!
I did.
It's
I
what it
did.
was.
It was
Is
because
it?
you walked in there going, I'm gonna see the fucking Michael Myers house. And you see it, but it
But
okay.
it doesn't come at the right time. It doesn't come
No,
at the
it
right time.
doesn't.
You can't put
And then
it like a couple scenes at the house and expect it to have the same impact.
no, it doesn't. And then you got Michael Myers running at me. I want to be looking at the house right now. I don't want to be scared. That's why you do it as the
Exactly. Like
facade.
this is an immersive moment. This isn't scare me right now. Like
And then the people going, well, if that was the facade, you would have been like, wow, that's so boring and expected. No, I would have been like, oh, look, it's the Michael Myers house. Like I did in Hollywood when I walked through the front door of the Michael Myers house and said, this is fucking cool.
Exactly. And Hollywood's wasn't even like that big compared to ours, but it had more of an impact than the one that was like the actual size of the house.
Oh my god. But we're not here to trash Michael Myers. We might have that choice next week if somebody brings up Halloween, but we'll find out.
If someone brings
Um
up Halloween on that episode, if they literally say, so if the topic is IPs you want to see come back, and they choose Halloween, I'm leaving this fucking podcast.
Oh my
Like,
god, Spicy Jonathan. We didn't get any Spicy Jonathan for Mardi Gras, but we got him for Halloween.
no, I don't. I'm an HHN person. I like Mardi Gras, but like I can't drink, so like that's half of Mardi Gras. Like,
We're almost there. We're almost there, buddy.
but like HHN's my thing, and like I swear to God, like imagine going, like, we haven't seen Michael Myers in a while. It's like, no, we've seen him like every fucking year. He's
All
always
right.
here. He's either in Hollywood or Orlando or fucking both. He's everywhere. I'm tired of that guy. He needs to go away, like for a couple of years.
He'll go away for at least 2 years.
I don't trust that. No, not at least 2 years. I want at least five. You just
All
want me
right.
to show up in five
Jonathan,
years.
Jonathan, I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to breathe. Michael Myers is not real. He cannot hurt you. I promise. Uh,
Well, now we
so,
know the things I get upset by are Tracy Tree and Michael Myers.
Tracy. Oh, Tracy Tree. Oh my God. Okay. Well, if you're a fan of Tracy Tree or Michael Myers, or you're not a fan of Tracy Tree, if you want to let us know, you can reach us on our Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube at HHN365. You like how I tied that in there? Duff could never. Uh,
Never, is that exactly.
uh, so at HHN365, our TikTok at HHN365pod, which we might be doing random Mardi Gras lives. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. We didn't do one yesterday, obviously. You can tell by our live, you would have not liked what we had to say.
You would have not like we had we wouldn't be able to film it. There was too many people. But like there's nowhere to film. It's like you'd just be seeing the backs of people's heads. Like
Well, also, anytime I tried to film something of the parade, my sister would say something ridiculous. And I would go, well, I can't use that. So, yeah. So, our
maybe
merch,
Tuesday will be the live. We'll see. Maybe that will be the day when we have
we'll find out.
room to breathe.
If you want to buy any of our merch, you can do so at hhn365.com. We have a Discord, like we said. If you are interested in that, the link is in the description of this episode or on our social medias. And we have a voicemail if you want to be part of the show, 407-906-4134. Let me know your thoughts on Tracy Tree, Mother Willow, what Jonathan's first drink at Mardi Gras should be. Let us know. And with that, next week we'll all be back together, and it won't just be me and Jonathan.
And it won't be incredibly weird. You're welcome.
Oh, it'll still be weird. Have you met us?
It will still be weird.
But until then, when we actually talk about IPs we want to see back at the event, we will see you in the streets.